Greetings and hello, wherever you are in the world. If you're a saint, I bid you shalom. This broadcast is specifically for those of you who are Guyanese or have an interest in what is happening here within our borders. Even if you're not Guyanese, this may help to confirm what most of you already believe, which is the hypocrisy of many of your political leaders, and is going to show you why I've always said to you that as a saint, you should not ever endorse these people. I appreciate your being here with me. If you can hear me clearly, please let me know. If you can see clearly, let me know as well, so that I can address this glaring hypocrisy that is worthy of my giving some clarity to the matter, because some people, I did a post previously, and some folk apparently are void of understanding. So just for their sake, I would seek to clarify for you why I'm speaking to Joseph Harmon's hypocrisy, and why fools are going out to protest or mobilize. So can you hear me clearly? Can you see clearly? Great, excellent. Okay, now let's speak to this. First of all, we have a matter in which an election petition is about to be filed on Monday by the APNU AFC coalition, or two petitions actually. An announcement was made in the midst of the reports of a drastic increase. Even if the tests came from China, you're saying the tests are defective, fine. But you're saying to me that, oh, while you're here, sorry about that, there are people who do not receive notifications. Some of you can see, they say they've not been notified that I'm here. So please share the broadcast with them, or so they can know I'm here. Apparently Facebook, for some reason, has an algorithm that prevents persons from seeing that I'm live. So I would be happy if you can do that. But let me tell you what happened. In the midst of an alarming increase of positive cases of COVID-19 in Guyana, we're over 1,000, we're approaching 2,000. Very soon it'll happen. First of all, common sense will tell you that if they're increasing the number of tests that they do, they'll have more positive results. That's a given, because of the nature of the COVID-19 virus. Additionally, Guyana is unprepared medically, whether you're APNU, AFC, PPP, Civic, or whatever party you're from, and you have 2 degrees of common sense, or 2 ounces of common sense. This country is totally unprepared to deal with COVID-19 in reference to a massive, thank you so much, Norman, I appreciate that, a massive outbreak. This is my issue. Joseph Harmon served just a few months ago, maybe 2 months ago, served as, even 1 month ago, the head of the COVID-19 task force for Guyana. I repeat, Joseph Harmon, who is now the official leader of the opposition, served as the head of the COVID-19 task force for Guyana, South America. No, he didn't serve as a minister in government, full stop. Joseph Harmon had total authority in reference to administering, policing, and guiding the country regarding COVID-19. Granger gave him that, the president then, David Granger, gave Harmon that authority. Harmon said to us that it's dangerous to go to church in your numbers, because even if you wear a mask, he said, it's dangerous to gather in full numbers in churches. Harmon said that it is dangerous to have a funeral service with more than 10 people. Even if you're wearing a mask, it's dangerous. Harmon said just 2 months ago that it's dangerous to have your wedding, Shalom Apostle Josh, with a whole crowd. Even if you wear a mask at the wedding, it's dangerous to have public gatherings. Harmon said it's dangerous to go to the creeks and the pools, because people could catch COVID-19 when you're interacting. Harmon said that. Harmon said it's dangerous to have any public gathering like schools and so on because it's dangerous. Harmon said that if you go to work, you must have a rotation system because it's dangerous, even if you wear a mask, to have a room full of people because of COVID-19's highly infectious nature. The same Joseph Harmon is now telling you, as Guyanese, to mobilize in your numbers on Monday morning outside of the court. And some APNU AFC retards had the nerve to come on my page to object to my saying that this is glaring disregard for your health. Although I told them that the same person who was the head of the COVID-19 task force is now telling you to come out into the street when he said it's dangerous to do so before. And that is not hypocrisy. What is it? You tell me what it is then. So the response moves me to my second point. The response that I got from people was that for 23 years under the PPP Civic, our sons and daughters, and said black people were slaughtered. And so they're going out on Monday morning because they're not going to have that. They're going to protest that which happened for 23 years. Are you people so stupid? Can you honestly be this idiotic? Let me help you to understand what you're saying to me then. Granger was in office for 5 years. Five. From 2015, or we extended the time before for an election until 2020. Fine. For 5 years, Granger has not caused his administration. You can see the police officers are working very assiduously right now. Granger couldn't cause one person from the PPP Civic administration who he said was responsible for causing the deaths of all these black people. Not even one of them was convicted. And you want to tell me it's time for you to react when you had political power. For 23 years, these people did this to you all. And now, 5 years have passed, you did not cause one of them to be prosecuted before the court. You said Jagdeo has his hand in this, and Jagdeo is responsible for it, and Jagdeo is as free as a lark. You people must be a special degree of stupid. When you had the political will and authority to act, after 23 years, not one of those politicians was arrested by y'all and tried before the court for human atrocities or atrocities against humanity or crimes against humanity, which happens to be a very, very serious crime that can be tried at the United Nations level, at The Hague. Y'all couldn't even do that. You could not even cause or present one ounce of evidence to have these men brought down, but now you want to go to the court on Monday. Now you want to tell people that going to the court on Monday has to do with 23 years? Oh, shut up. Get out of my face with your stupidity. You're a disgraceful bunch. Granger couldn't do anything for 5 years, but you think that going in front of the court on Monday, in the midst of excessive increases in COVID-19 positives, you could head to the court on Monday because it makes sense to you to follow Harmon. Harmon was in the ministry of the presidency and he did nothing for 5 years to Jagdeo. Nothing to Anil Nandlal. Nothing. But now you want to go to court in numbers and stand in front of the court, and that is supposed to cause some reaction from the PPP Civic to say, oh, we can't do what we did for 23 years because these people have mobilized. You people must be, it has to be something in the water you're drinking, because you can't be this stupid naturally. You cannot be this stupid naturally. And then you come into my page with your stupidity that this is about your children. What children? You had 5 years in power. All of y'all. And what did you do about it? What? Now that Jagdios decided, or whoever else decided, that they begin to arrest your people and drag you all before the court as they promised, you suddenly victims, why can't you arrest them as well? Okay, Granger give the greatest of all explanations to the president. David Granger, the colossal failure, said that witnesses didn't want to come forward, so these people are free. And yeah, okay, so under the power that you have, all this authority you have, for 5 years, the witnesses couldn't come forward, so nobody could go to jail. Now on Monday when you go before the court and you stand in the street, witnesses will come forward, huh? And so Jagdeo will be tried for the crimes you said he committed. Nandlal will be tried for the crimes you said he committed, and all that. You people who support this foolishness, you are the ones I'm talking to. You are a special category of fools. You're not ordinary. You are extraordinarily stupid. I said it to David Granger 4 years ago. If you fail to bring these people to justice, you will be in trouble. What y'all seen happening now? And you telling me that you out of office, Granger unapologetically tossed authority over to your finale on the 2nd of August. In your face. He didn't even have a speech to give to y'all. He didn't even say, let me come out and talk to my people and tell my people, listen people, Guyana is going through quite a lot. For the love of the country, I'm going to allow Claudette Singh to make her announcement and then we'll have petition. Granger didn't even talk to your faces. Granger, you just heard it through the vine. My pressure could raise the heart. High pressure don't kill me. And it's supposed to rise. Maybe if some of your pressure should rise, you act like me and politicians will hear you. Granger unceremoniously dismissed anything called protecting the Constitution. And now, y'all gonna stand in the street, gathered, when Harmon told y'all it's dangerous to gather as groups. Harmon said it's dangerous, and the same Harmon wants your support in front of the court. Y'all didn't learn from your experiences. In March, when you gathered in front of GCOM, when you gathered at the Ashman building, when you been, let it blow, blow, blow. You remember that? Remember the blow, blow? In April, let it blow, blow, blow. And y'all carry on like a set of retards. Did the judge hear you? Whenever the appeal court had to make a ruling or and so on, and you gathered by High Street area, wherever the place is, and you screamed by Lamaha and that junction right there, and you made all the noise in the world, did that affect the judge? Did that affect the judge? When you had to go to CCJ and you all began to protest in Guyana before the CCJ could talk, did the CCJ hear you? So Monday morning, you're supposed to have some special degree of understanding from these judges that if you gather in numbers, then they will rule in your favor and the PPP Civic will stop arresting y'all. Happy hunting. And stupid people like Cheryl Davis is what has Guyana exactly where it is right now. Idiots of your nature. You are a retarded clown. I owe stupid people no pleasantry because this degree of idiocy is beyond the norm. This cannot be normal for y'all to be this stupid. You had to drink something in your water, something fell from the sky on your head or something. This can never be normal for y'all. Guyanese do not have a history of being this stupid. Something went wrong over the past 6 months because you're coming out of the closet like crazy right now. Walking on the street supposed to do something? These people don't need your money. How can you affect them? They don't need, whether you walk and talk, it doesn't bother them. You following Harmon? Harmon was the head, I say to you again, of the task force for COVID-19. He was not an assistant. He was not a third in line. He was the man. Harmon kept you all out of your Jesus church. Harmon said you can't go to church. You're not going to church because it's dangerous, even if you're a mask. Then he said, okay, I'll release you. Only a quarter of your population. Only 25% of the church congregation is allowed in the building. And the same Harmon is telling you, come outside and meet me in public. To show these people that we mean business, get out of my face. You had 5 years to show them, and what did you do? Nothing. What should they do? You actually asked me a question. I was waiting for one of y'all to ask me. Thank you so much. Let me tell you what you should do. The first thing you should do is, if you want to launch a protest, protest against Granger. Protest that Granger should never ever lead anything in Guyana. He should lead his house, because he couldn't even talk to his own son-in-law. Protest that Granger must get out of PNC now. Or I don't care about y'all. But then you're asking for advice. So it's not a case about I have interest in PNC or PNFC. I don't care about y'all. Or PP Civic. None of y'all. You're all the same. But you're asking for advice. And since you want to tell me what to do, the first thing you should do is to get rid of those who are weak and trying to use y'all. You asked, so I'll answer. You want protest? Protest Granger's action. Protest why should David Granger still have leadership of PNC when he would have failed the country in general. Protest that. Protest the fact that David Granger caused Sarah Ann Lynch to disrespect me and you as Guyanese people, and he did nothing to her. Protest that. Protest that. Protest the fact that David Granger selected Harmon to be opposition leader when Orbie Norton was most forceful and intelligent. Protest that. But don't come to me garbage you're going to stand in front of a court. To do what? You think a judge cares about y'all? The judge sees a set of stupid people who just want to run around and don't understand law. That's how these judges treat y'all. What you going in front of the court for? You're not allowed in it. You cannot influence the judge at period. So what are you going to the court for? Why didn't y'all go to Congress Place and ask Granger to tell you why he gave the power over to Irfan Ali? Why didn't you go there? Why didn't you protest Congress Place and ask Granger, how could you do this? How could you go and ask Granger, how could you have a chairman of the PNC sitting out of parliament? That has never happened in Guyana history. How can you, Granger, not seek to engage the wisdom of Orbie Norton and these people? If you ask me the question, so some of you jump at my broadcast, don't be stupid. Someone asks me what should you do, I'm answering the question. That is what you should do. Because you're standing in front of the court has no bearing on an election petition. It's not evidence you're giving. Nobody asked you to be in front of the court. Your name is not called to say, okay, Tom Jones, Tom, you, Harry, this ever come, give account for what happened on election day. You are irrelevant to the process. So what you stand in front of the court for? Your being there is inconsequential. It has no bearing on what will happen. So what is Harmon calling out to the court for? Is there some special clause where some arrangement where Harmon says, if you go out there and within 4 to 5 days or a week, you begin to show symptoms or signs of being infected by COVID-19, the APNU AFC shall foot your medical bill? Do you have that? Do you have that kind of arrangement with Harmon and PNC or APNU AFC? Do they intend to treat you? Because Harmon, as the official leader of the opposition, is entitled to benefits that are medical that you don't have. You people are driving me up a wall with your stupidity. Why? Because I'm Guyanese and I can't stand to see my people this stupid, man. When you stood in front of the court, Roxanne George still told y'all, get out of my face. Accept the recount results. What did that do? You were told to your faces when you stood and the final stage of the appellate court matter. The three of them told y'all, you're not coming to me to stop Lowenfield from doing anything. He has to give numbers based on the recount. Did your protest matter then? Did your numbers matter then? You went out in numbers and you lost almost every single court case. What would your numbers do this time? Y'all can say what you want. You can call me what you want. At the end of the day, you're stupid and I'm not, because I'm not going to protest anywhere for anybody. Not one of them. You got the weakest political leader in Ghana's history is David Granger. The weakest. Weaker than Ramatar. The weakest of all. And you gone putting your life on the line for these people. Something has to be, something is seriously wrong with y'all. For real, this is no ordinary stupid I'm seeing here. When Granger turned the country over to Irfan Ali and PPP Civic, none of you went to the street to say anything. Harmon didn't go to the street. Harmon accepted it because, after all, he's the official leader of the opposition. But now, you want to go and stand in front of the court. On the 2nd of August, none of y'all went out to the street to say, we're not accepting this. But now Harmon is going to earn all the thousands, hundreds of thousands, probably $1.whatever million per month as official opposition leader, and you're going to support him because you're that stupid. My issue is that when y'all go to support him, you go around some people who don't want to support him, and you cause them to become ill. That's my only problem. If you are going to support him and you get sick and they put you in some island somewhere by yourself, I'll be very happy because you deserve it. But the fact is that innocent people could be affected by your stupidity. Not me doing, Scott, there's no time to be calm. There's nothing calm about me right now. And maybe there are too many calm people in Guyana. And that's kind of worrisome, to know that there are people who are men in this country who are so calm, but yet supportive of corrupt people. I am infuriated by stupidity. Maybe some of y'all could try it. If Granger could be as quiet as he is now, and every so often, as usual, in his Granger fashion, he's now able to warn the PPP Civic that he's paying attention to their actions, and he's warning them to stop harassing and arresting and intimidating people. You people crazy or what? Granger was president and Jaglu didn't respect him. And now he's out of office after conceding or acquiescing to Sarah Lynch and her clan. He is now able to warn Jaglu about his behavior. And you're listening to Harmon. When Christopher Jones was being arrested and everything else, who was present? Aubrey Norton. Who stood to say we're not accepting his behavior? Aubrey Norton. He came in the public and said, y'all ain't gonna come here and seek to intimidate anybody. See the difference? Where was Granger? Where was the leader of the PNC? Nowhere. But y'all could tell me that you're going to somehow walk in front of a court and that's going to cause the PP to pay attention to y'all? They may pay attention to you, but they see you as a set of jokers. Exactly. Do you know that Guyanese have been touted, and some of y'all think it was complimentary? I lived out of Guyana, and while living out of this country for 15 years, traveled the Caribbean extensively. Do you know these people told me to my face as Guyanese? You people are some of the most docile people and some of the most easy-going people. It was not a compliment. Especially Jamaicans. Jamaicans could not wrap their mind around how stupid some of you are. How people could do anything to you. And it's not a problem at all. Listen to me. And listen to me good. Anybody who tells you 3 months ago, that it's dangerous to gather in groups because of COVID-19, and now because they don't have the same power tell you, come, let's gather in groups, that person should never be trusted. You should never trust that person, because they're telling you in essence that they're either, watch this, it was either Casey Harmon was saying back then that he knew that nothing will happen to you if you gather him in large crowds, but he just wants to exercise some power. Or he's now saying to you, hey, I will use your idiocy and your stupidity against you in my favor. Because if Harmon knew then that gathering with your mask on is dangerous, still dangerous, so you mustn't go to church in large numbers and so on, and now he tells you to come out to the street, he's very, very, very irresponsible. If he knew then that putting on the mask and go to church would not have harmed you, but he still said it, he was hypocritical and he lied. Either way, it's a catch-22. It's a dilemma. Harmon is guilty and should not be listened to. I will never, never support this kinds of foolishness. These kinds of nonsense, I say to you again, it goes beyond the norm for Guyanese people. We are not known for being so stupid, man. We're quiet-spirited, but we're not stupid. Y'all don't keep doing this. You all cannot keep doing this nonsense in the name of politics and support for political parties. Granger has walked out of office in an unceremonious manner, being touted as a dictator. I defended that because he's not a dictator. Granger's too big to dictate anything. If Granger cannot dictate his son-in-law, how could he dictate Guyana? He can't dictate his own house. How can he dictate to this whole country? No. You don't build any empire on weakness and expect it to stand. How can it stand? We are Guyanese people. We cannot keep doing this stupidness. This is getting out of hand now. Thank you, Tech Chan. Exactly. Y'all don't see what these people are doing to y'all? Joseph Harmon, because of his position, that's why I'm so angry today. If he were just a minister in government and then, okay, he became leader of opposition, he told you to come to the street, that's a different story. And even then he should have known better. But the fact that this man was the head of the COVID-19 task force for this country and told y'all, you cannot, there's a curfew, remember that? You cannot stay out your house for very long periods of time, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. or else you can cause spreading of viruses of COVID-19. You cannot have big bashment in your yard, as they call it, birthday parties, even in your own household. No, it's dangerous. Even if you're a mask, dangerous. If you go to church, as I said to you before, it's dangerous. Even if you're a mask and wash your hand in church. No. You're not allowed to hug each other because it's dangerous. You're not allowed to go to work in large numbers because it's dangerous. And this same person is telling you, come out on Monday and mobilize in your numbers. And you're all doing it. And you are willing to do this. Why am I angry? Because I may be guilty of loving my country. Wherever I go in this world, you ask anybody in the Caribbean or the US, wherever it is I've traveled, how I speak of my country. I have never, ever, ever in my life disregarded my nation. For 15 years of living out of this country, nobody could tell you that I've said Guyana is a bad country, Guyana is starving. Don't tell me that. Never. I may be guilty of loving my country too much. And if that's what I'm guilty of, fine, arrest me, place me before the court, and try me for loving my country. But I'm not going to sit back here and have my people in Guyana be treated as if you're this stupid, and then watch you cooperate with being stupid. Granger wants to deal with Jagdeo and deal with his reaction and deal with Irfan Ali's reaction. Go to them. Go and challenge them live. Go on Facebook and say to them, I'm calling y'all out live to challenge me. To show me that y'all are not doing what you're doing. Be a man. Don't ask somebody to come and support you. You've never heard me ask one of y'all to come to support me and help me to talk anywhere. You don't see me with 25 bodyguards around me and armed bodyguards to support me and talk. Be man enough. If you think they do something wrong, do what I do. Tell them I don't agree with what they're doing. It's simple. But don't call nobody at their house to endanger their lives when you said it's dangerous because you want support. No, if you have evidence of thousands, you said it, thousands of cases of fraud in election, why you need a crowd? You said you have evidence of thousands of cases of fraud in election. Present it to the court. You need a crowd for that? Someone asked, did I ever form a political party? At this moment, no. My mind is on nothing of a political party. My mind is on serving my country in reference to this that I'm doing, which is speaking the truth to help Guyanese understand that you can't keep doing this nonsense all the time. This is my service to you. As an apostle of the Lord Yeshua, I speak to you as he gives me grace to do so. That's it. I don't have to form a party to speak to y'all. If Yahweh instructs me to venture into the path of seeking to have a movement arise in this country to bring change, I'll obey. But my man is not on doing that. My man is on telling you all the truth. But don't tell me you have Harmon said it in a letter. In the dossier he said he has thousands of pieces of evidence of electoral fraud. Why do you need a crowd to mobilize if you have so much evidence? You're a lawyer, Joseph Harmon. You are a lawyer, Mr. Harmon. And I don't have any personal issue with you. I'm speaking to you as a man to another man. Maybe y'all could learn to do that. I have no personal issue with any one of y'all. And some of y'all don't understand that. I have no personal beef with any one of you. I will sit and talk to you as a normal person. I don't have an issue with you personally, but if we can talk about this topic, then I have an issue with what you're doing. There's nothing personal between y'all. The only individual or two, and I say this here without reservation, two people that I have a personal issue with in Guyana is David Granger and Nicolette Henry. Because they both put my children's morality in danger. By telling me that Granger said he's paid to respect to men buggering. I will never respect you. As a man to another man, I have a problem with you in that. When you tell me as a Guyanese that you prepared to respect two people engaged in same-sex activity, I have a personal issue with you. Because no man could tell me that. And the church say you're a man of God? No, that's personal. Nicolette Henry, as a minister of education responsible for my children's education, said that her government sees LGBTQRS, the whole alphabet gang, the entire alphabet gang, as being normal. That's personal, because you won't tell me, as she did to my face, that she's prepared to protect LGBTQ students. What are they doing in the school? It's criminal. So how are they in school? But I have no personal issue with y'all, apart from the two of them. Harmon and I don't have a personal issue. But I have a serious grievance with somebody who's going to be as irresponsible as this. And I would like to think that he's man enough to recant and to really, really speak sensibly. If you want to take it personally, and you want to have an issue with that, and you want to say, that, okay, then we'll blacklist Nigel London, do what you want. I say, would tell you anything different. You're still stupid to do what you're doing, all of you, to go see you marching behind Harmon. You are stupid. Now, I hope that I've made myself a lot clearer than I did yesterday, because some of you had a difficulty comprehending what I said. It is total hypocrisy for the former leader, head of the COVID-19 task force, to now tell you come to the street to march in numbers. That is hypocritical, and I have an issue with it. If it is not clear, if it is still opaque to you, then it could be that you're just void of comprehension skills, and I can't help you in that regard. But if you understand me clearly now, or clearer now, thank you. I appreciate it. While you're here, please share the broadcast and encourage your siblings, or your cousins, your relatives, your friends, your enemies. Don't follow this man on Monday. He's going to court to present before the judge petitions to say that the PP Civic would be fraudulent, they are illegitimate, and they should not be in government. He doesn't need a crowd to do that. The court will read the matter, the court will hear the matter, the court will rule on the matter. Your position is to be in your house, or wherever you're supposed to be, in the safety of your home, away from this stupidness. I hope that I'm clearer now, and I thank you for your time. Would you be kind enough to share this broadcast, please, so others can hear me say for myself, especially Granger, what I think about him? Because I don't like him hearing second-hand information from me. They didn't hear it from me, as one man talking to him. I appreciate your time. Y'all please don't go to the street with these people. Don't follow them. If you get sick, I promise you with my life, they would not spend the money on you. Thank you for sharing. I promise you, they would not give you their money. Granger will, if he get Harmon, if he gets sick, because he goes around y'all, he will be entitled to full medical care, top level medical care. They won't refuse to put him on a ventilator because there are only 4 of them, or 5 of them, or 6. They might take your cousin off the ventilator and give it to Harmon, because he's entitled to full medical care as the leader of the opposition. You are not. I appreciate your time. And I must reiterate, I have to reiterate, I have to. If the PPP Civic were guilty of killing your sons and daughters and brothers and sisters for 23 years and David Granger couldn't put one of them in jail, Granger should be in jail, not them. That's my position. You said Jagdeo ran a narco state. Why is Jagdeo free? You couldn't even amend your laws to say that presidential immunity is removed because you want to be immune from prosecution too. So don't come to me for 23 years. If they did all these things for 23 years and you couldn't deal with them for 5 years, don't talk to me. I don't want to hear anything from y'all. Nothing from y'all. Paul Ali's asking a question. Do you see the actions of the current government necessary? Or is it with hunting or oppression of black Guyanese? No. It is not witch hunting in the context that I'll give to you. And again, you ask. If you ask, I'll answer your question. So, Shalom Apostle, you ask a question. If someone, and this is really crazy, Guyanese, if someone in the APNU AFC government was politically appointed, do you hear the term I'm using? If you can hear me clearly, let me know, please, because I'm answering a very serious question here. Politically appointed. You heard that? If your appointment is political, it means that David Granger, Harmon, or somebody else would have appointed you to serve in a position. Common sense should tell you all that if that party loses, you are no longer entitled to serve because your appointment was political. That's not witch hunting. Witch hunting is common sense. When APNU AFC took office, they removed certain people from offices. No, y'all didn't complain then. And I don't support the PP Civic. I never will. But let's be fair and straightforward here. If they remove political appointees, they need to go because they benefited from you and me in terms of our taxpayers' dollars because they were political servants, because they were cronies, because they're favorites of the government. Like these men of God who were able to bow and soup up the Granger and get appointments. Get out! Your appointment is political. Get out! I have no feeling for y'all. If it's a public servant who, based on their qualifications, on merit, and on performance, they're entitled to a certain position, and you remove them, then I have an issue with PPP Civic. But all political appointments, get out. Fire them now. I have no issue with that. If your appointment is political, go home. Because you're a political servant of a political party. Go home. You got thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars of our money. Go home. But don't you go firing public servants who were serving the people, and because you feel they were loyal to the PNC or APNI FC, you fire them. Then I got an issue with your PPP Civic. But you're doing well so far. All political appointments need to be done with, so that the PPP Civic could appoint their political servants. That's what y'all want. Fine. If I am president of this country, I tell y'all I will only deal with technical or technocrats, as they're called. I don't want any loyalists in any party with me. I want people who could do the job. Don't be loyal to me. Be faithful to Guyana. Y'all don't want presidents like that because you want your uncle and your cousin and your auntie get a job. Not with me. If you are qualified, I don't care what party you're from, you will serve in a position. That's how leaders with love for the country function. I don't have no hidden agenda with y'all. I don't want anyone y'all to be loyal to me. Never. Be faithful to the office that you hold and be honest. But you wouldn't want me to be president because I'm a bit too straightforward for some of y'all. I tell y'all, be careful what you ask for. There's no black person here. If David Granger and Harmon and all them appointed black people as political servants, then they need to go home. That's not witch hunting. Because you're black, it's because you had a political appointment. You got these people having an issue that they have to leave the government house. You people out of your mind or what? You see, Prince, you start me up now. You were given the government house to live in for 5 years, and you mad that you have to move out of it? No, man. You must be crazy or what? People in this country don't have a house to live in. They can't pay their rent. They have to sleep at a corner road, sleep in somebody's bedroom. 6, 7, 8 of them in one little one-room apartment. And you had a whole 5, 6 bedroom house to live in. And you have an issue to tell you have to leave now because the government is out of power. Boy, you better get on my face. This is not about any witch hunting here. I say again, if you are going to take public servants off the job, we have an issue. Because it's a public service commission, they're very quiet as far as I'm concerned. Maybe they know why they're quiet. You have a public service workers union, as far as I know. They're quiet too. They know why they're quiet. But if you go down the path of seeking to fire public servant because you believe they fit with some other party, then finally have an issue with you. Anything political, that's free reign. Do what you want with them. But don't you come telling me that a public servant, like a teacher or a PS or one of those, and even some PSs are loyalists, so they need to go home too. But that's it. I've answered the question. I hope Prince Ali, I've answered the question. Hopefully I was clear enough to you. So I don't buy into the race game. Y'all would never catch me to play into the race game. I don't play that game. I do not play your race games. You would not bait me into that garbage. I'm Guyanese. I don't play your race games here. I tell you already, I don't play that foolishness. My regard for you is based on the merit and the essence of who you are, not your color of your skin, not the text of your hair. So we're not going down this road here. David Granger had 5 years to bring to justice those who he said were responsible for killing your sons and daughters, your brothers and your uncles, your sisters, and he did nothing about it. So y'all don't talk to me about 23 years. I don't want to hear it. Instead of telling me that PPP did something for 23 years, Granger failed for 5 years. Talk that. Speak about that one. Don't tell me no PP Civic now. Tell me that David Granger failed for 5 whole years to deal with one matter and bring one of these men to conviction. I could listen to that conversation. Don't tell me 23 years here. This is not about no race here. Y'all don't bite to these politicians' garbage. Thank you for your time. Goodbye. I appreciate those of you who took the time to share the broadcast. Thank you for doing so. I really I'm grateful that you do it. Like I said, Facebook's algorithm does something to my page. So thank you so much for spreading the word for me. Thank you, Pastor Josh. Thank you so much. Bye, saints. Shalom to you all. Shalom means peace. Shalom means it's well. Regardless of what happens around you, it is well. Bye-bye.